I'll pay for it. This is my money, not the store's.
The grocery store was busy. Saturday afternoon, long lines, tired people, everyone just trying to get home. A man stood at register 4, simple clothes, worn jacket, a small basket of groceries, rice, beans, cooking oil, bread, basic things, survival things. He patted his pockets, then he patted them again. "I'm sorry," he said to the cashier. "I think I forgot my wallet." The woman behind him in line exploded. "Are you serious right now? Some of us have places to be. Move out of the way." The store manager rushed over. "Sir, if you can't pay, you need to step aside." Everyone was staring. Everyone was judging. And then the cashier did something no one expected. She reached into her own pocket, pulled out a crumpled $20 bill, her lunch money, her only money for the day, and she paid for his groceries. And the man looked at her, and what he did next made the whole store go silent.
My name is Ikenna Diallo. I am the founder and chairman of Diallo Holdings. I own this building.
Now, before I tell you what happened next, check that subscribe button. If you love stories where the humble rise and the proud fall, hit it right now and turn on notifications. Because the payback in this story, it is going to be legendary. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. Ikenna Diallo had spent 30 years building an empire, and one afternoon in a grocery store would change his life forever. But let me tell you about the man first. At 52 years old, Ikenna was the founder and chairman of Diallo Holdings, a conglomerate worth $3.7 billion. Real estate, shipping, technology. His fingerprints were on half the buildings in Atlanta, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. Unlike most wealthy men, but Ikenna didn't dress the part. No flashy watches, no designer suits for grocery runs, no entourage following him around. He wore simple clothes, drove himself, carried his own bags. "Money is not a costume," his father used to say back in Senegal. "A man who needs the world to see his wealth has nothing else to show." Ikenna had come to America at 19, from St. Louis, Senegal, a fisherman's son who had never seen a building taller than 3 stories. His father, Moussa Diallo, was the wisest man he ever knew. A quiet man who fixed fishing nets with scarred hands and spoke in proverbs that Ikenna only understood years later. "My son, a river does not drink its own water. A tree does not eat its own fruit. The sun does not shine for itself. Living for others is the rule of nature." His mother, Fatou, sold fish at the market, and she could calculate prices faster than any machine, and she could read a person's character in 30 seconds. "Watch how a person treats someone who can do nothing for them," she told Ikenna when he was 12. "That is who they truly are." Those words became his compass. They guided him through the struggle of building a business in a country that didn't know his name, through the betrayals, through the fake friendships, through the women who loved his money more than his soul. By 52, Ikenna had everything, except the one thing he wanted most: a wife, not a trophy, not a business arrangement, not a woman who saw dollar signs when she looked at him, a partner, a real one, someone who would love the fisherman's son, not the billionaire. He had tried. God knows he had tried. 3 serious relationships in 15 years. And each one ended the same way. The first woman, Celine, had been perfect, beautiful, smart, ambitious. But when Ikenna's shipping company hit a rough patch and he lost $200 million in 1 quarter, she was gone within a month. "I didn't sign up for uncertainty, Ikenna. Call me when things stabilize." Things stabilized. She called. He didn't answer. The second, Monique, lasted 2 years. She was warm, attentive, present, until Ikenna discovered she had been funneling money to her ex-boyfriend through a fake charity. $450,000. Gone. When confronted, she shrugged. "You have billions. You didn't even notice." The third, Adana, was the worst. She had seemed perfect, kind, humble, a nurse who volunteered at free clinics on weekends, until Ikenna found the prenup she had been secretly drafting with her lawyer. And before he had even proposed, it included a clause guaranteeing her $50 million if they divorced within 5 years. She was planning the exit before the entrance. After Adana, Ikenna stopped trying. He focused on work, on giving back, on his foundation that built schools in West Africa. But at night, in his house in Druid Hills, a beautiful home that echoed with emptiness, he felt the loneliness like a weight on his chest. His driver, Sekou, was the only person who saw it. Sekou had been with Ikenna for 12 years, a fellow Senegalese, loyal, honest, the kind of man who said little but saw everything. "Boss, you need someone." "I have you, Sekou. I'm your driver, not your wife, and my cooking is terrible." Ikenna laughed, but the laughter faded quickly. Then one evening his mother called from Saint Louis. She was 81 now, frail, but her mind was sharper than ever. "Ikenna, my son, I had a dream about you last night." "What kind of dream, Mama?" "I dreamed you were standing in a market, surrounded by food, but you were hungry, because you were looking at the expensive stalls. You kept walking past the small ones, the ones with the real nourishment." "Mama, I don't understand." "You are looking for love in the wrong places, my son. Stop looking at the gala. Stop looking at the boardroom. Look where nobody else looks. Love hides in plain sight. It always has." "How will I know when I find it?" "You will know because she will give you something she cannot afford to lose, and she will do it without being asked." Ikenna sat with those words for 3 days, and on the 4th day, he had a plan. Ikenna's plan was simple. Beautifully, painfully simple. He would go to an ordinary place, dress in ordinary clothes, carry no wallet, no cards, no identification, and he would see what happened. Not at a charity gala, not at a corporate event, not in a world where people performed kindness for cameras. In a grocery store, the most ordinary place on earth. "You want to do what?" Sekou stared at him. "I want to go grocery shopping, without money." "Boss, you own 14 buildings. You cannot just—" "I want to see what people do when a man can't pay for rice and bread, Sekou. I want to see who helps and who judges." Sekou was quiet for a moment. "Your mother told you to do this, didn't she?" "She told me to look where nobody else looks." "And you chose the grocery store. What's more ordinary than a grocery store?" Sekou sighed. Which store?" "The Fresh Mart on Cascade Road, Southwest Atlanta. Regular neighborhood, regular people." "And what do I do?" "You wait in the parking lot. Watch. Don't interfere, no matter what happens." "And if someone recognizes you?" Ikenna smiled. "Nobody looks twice at an ordinary man in a grocery store. That's the whole point." Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Ikenna dressed in clothes he normally wore to do yard work. Khaki pants, slightly wrinkled, a faded blue button-down shirt, an old brown jacket, comfortable shoes that had seen better years. He looked in the mirror. An ordinary man. Nobody special. Nobody worth a second glance. Perfect. Sekou dropped him 2 blocks from the Fresh Mart. "I'll be in the lot. Gray sedan, back corner." "Thank you." "Hi, Sekou." "Thank me by not getting arrested for loitering." Ikenna walked to the store. The Fresh Mart on Cascade Road was exactly what you'd expect. A neighborhood grocery store. Not fancy, not run down, just normal. Automatic doors, fluorescent lights, the smell of fresh bread from the bakery section, shopping carts with wobbly wheels. Ikenna grabbed a basket and walked the aisles slowly. He picked up simple things: a bag of rice, dried beans, a bottle of cooking oil, a loaf of bread, some onions and tomatoes. Basic things. The kind of things his mother used to buy at the market in St. Louis. He walked to the checkout area. Saturday afternoon. The store was packed. Every register had a line. Ikenna chose register 4. and that's where he met them. The two women who would change everything. And her name was Chiamaka Ude, and she was already having the worst day of her life. Chiamaka, Mama Chi to her friends, was 45 years old, a large woman with an expensive weave, acrylic nails, and a permanent scowl that could curdle milk. She worked as a regional manager for a beauty supply chain, made good money, drove a leased Lexus, wore labels she couldn't quite afford, and she believed, with every fiber of her being, that she was better than everyone around her. "Excuse me," she tapped Ikenna's shoulder. "The express lane is over there. This line is for people who are actually buying things." Ikenna looked at his basket. 6 items.